Okay, that's going. Here's a story called The Crooked Billet by me, Leah Mooney. Staring into middle distance, I can almost see the shattered remains of my dreams littering the floor. Someone is speaking. See you down the billet. What? I snap. The person speaking is a skanky old drunk. It's stupidly hot in this newsagent's, and I'm in no mood for dealing with such a skanky old waste of space. I only want a copy of The Guardian. Bloody hot weather, it brings out all the nutters. I know you, he says in a strong Irish accent. I saw you down the billet last Saturday. We were talking politics. What? I said again. No, you didn't. I never drink in the billet. It's a shithole. What a stupid old fool. I wouldn't speak to an old skank like him anyway. Although he doesn't actually seem to be drunk, he does stink of BO. Yeah, I definitely saw you. You said you were doing a thesis on how easy it would be to assassinate David Cameron. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Just go away. With that, he walks out with this pathetic, sad look on his face. He didn't even buy anything. Assassinate David Cameron? What crap. I'm not even sure what he looks like. Later that week, I was in Starbucks and I ordered a skinny iced latte and noticed that the barista made a face. She was clearly Eurotrash with an eyebrow ring and blatantly dyed red hair. It was still ridiculously hot outside and I was in no mood for this kind of thing. Why the face? I said to her. Oh, nothing, she said in her silly accent and sniggered. No, come on, what? It just makes me giggle when people order the really fattening drinks, like white chocolate mochas all the time, and then ask for a skinny latte. Oh, what is going on, I think. But I never order fattening things, I said. I'm on a very strict diet. The barista made another face and said, but you were in here yesterday, and... No, I wasn't, I interrupted. Could you just give me the coffee? We managed to get through the rest of the transaction without any more crap. I met my friend, Sophie, in a pub later on. It was raining, and I'd spent half an hour on my hair before I left. I hate the rain. Sophie said, so how did the interview go? What interview? I asked. That one for that job in Boots. You said it was the first interview you'd been offered since we finished uni. It was up in Westminster somewhere, I think you said. I wouldn't work for Boots. Yes, I did think it was odd. Have you applied for many jobs? Loads, not one interview though. Same. Hang on, when did I tell you I had one? Last week. We were in the Crooked Billet and the Crooked Billet. We never went there, it's a shitty old man's pub. Again, I did think it was odd, but I didn't want to say anything. We did meet there though. When I came in you were talking to this old Irish man. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you today, Lou? We were there on Saturday. We just so were. You told me you'd made friends with that old boy. You said he was a retired professor from Ireland. You're talking crap now. What's wrong with you? Why are you lying? The stupid cow looked genuinely hurt. These sort of sad, childish wind-ups weren't Sophie's style at all. I thought she was better than this. Louise, she said, look me in the face and tell me you don't remember telling me you had an interview in Boots and we were in the billet. Couldn't believe it. Piss off, Soph, I thought you were better than this. Bloody hell, Lou, you're serious. Oh, Lou, I'm so sorry. She had tears in her eyes. Probably guilt. I think you need help. Memory must be going. How terrible, poor you. Please go to the doctors. It might be something that could be really easily treated. Right, I said, I've had it. I got up and made for the door. As I got there, I turned around and said, and don't bother texting or anything. You can piss off now, stupid bitch. I was so angry, I wanted to scream. What a horrible wind-up. Why would someone want to do that? Is she on drugs or something? When I got home, I found my mum up a ladder, dabbing paint on the pictorial in the living room. The whole house reeked of it. "Oh, for God's sake," I said, "it looked fine. Why can't you just leave it alone?" "Because fine isn't good enough," she said. "I want it to look fantastic." She laughed. "Haven't you got anything better to do?" "No, and I suppose clay pigeon shooting is a far superior pastime." "Why, who does that?" She looked at me as if I was mad, and then laughed again. "Very funny, smart ass," she said. "What? Is that exactly what you've just been doing? Clay pigeon shooting?" "Yes, you told me you were getting quite good at it now." "Not you now. What the hell is going on?" She looked blankly at me. I wanted to hit her. She shook her head and said, "You were in the kitchen this morning and said that you were going shooting and that you'd be back for dinner. You also said that you were getting quite good." "Were you completely mental? I went out this morning and then I went to meet Sophie, who was also talking just this kind of crap. I remember you saying you were going to meet Sophie earlier in the week. I thought you just changed your plans. Why are you doing this to me? First Sophie and now you. What are we doing to you? Trying to make me think I've gone mad? Don't be ridiculous. Then what's all this?" "The truth. Maybe you should see someone, Louise. You've been acting oddly these last few weeks. Sometimes you seem really happy and up, and then you're back to this." "This? Well, your usual pessimistic outlook, acting like you're so hard done by." "But..." I stopped because I really didn't know what to say. I just gave her a look and then stalked out of the house. The level of injustice in my life has become unbearable. As I stride up the road, I'm almost shaking with rage. How dare they? How fucking dare they do this to me? Everyone I know has turned against me. What could I possibly have done to deserve this? As I turn the corner of this painfully suburban street, I see something that stops me in my tracks. A tree so oddly shaped that it freaked me out. It looked like it was growing half in someone's garden, leaning against a little red brick wall, and half out of the pavement. Creeping forward a few steps, I saw, to my relief, it was actually a normal tree with a person leaning against it. After a few more steps, I stopped again. There was something deeply disturbing about the way the person, a woman, was standing there. Something weirdly familiar too. She stood in the shadow of the tree, perched on the edge of a garden wall. I couldn't see her face. I could just make out that her head was turned toward me. My usual instinct was to say, "What are you looking at?" to someone staring at me. But something about the woman made me not want to confront her. I even thought twice about crossing the road so I didn't have to pass close to her. But that totally goes against my principles. Therefore, I set my gaze on the pavement a few metres in front of me and started forward on legs that were trying to turn to jelly. With each step I took, the feeling of dread got more and more severe. I was level with her when I risked a glance at her face. I stopped dead. All the strength left from my body, and I staggered back into a lamppost. It was my face. She had my face. I opened my mouth, but she silenced me by shaking my head. "Don't worry," she said in my voice. "Don't be distressed. It's all over. It's all me now." A shattering pain crashed through my head. It was a beautiful sunny day when I went into the Crooked Billet and took up my usual seat at the bar. Finbar, the old professor, was there, and he turned to speak to me as I sat down. "Hello," he said. "You look more like your old self today." "I feel more like my old self," I said. "Now, what were we talking about last time I was here?" "Theoretical ways of assassination the Prime Minister, before your thesis." "Oh yes, that was it." The end.